Hello, Judy here from Thistledew Creations, and I've got another little book haul for you. As I've mentioned before, the CIBC, Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, where I bank, has a book table out in the lobby, and you can, it's just on your honor system. You put in however much money you would like to pay for it, and you can take a book or two. So I was there a couple weeks ago and I took 4 things. I put a couple of toonies in the jar, and I think I got more than my money's worth. So I've got this book, which is Explore Canada, and you can see the spine's not in great shape. It was a Reader's Digest book through CAA, which is the same as AAA in the States, Automobile Club of America, or American Automobile Association. Well, it's Canadian Automobile Association. So the front cover is cute or neat with the geese on it, very Canadian, but it's got that leathery texture. I love the end pages in here. And then it's just a book about Canada. So there's a map or something there. Topographical kind of map, and then a blocky map where to find it. This incidents map shows how the following 23 maps have been arranged. Oh, to maintain continuity and facilitate route planning. The scales vary. They are shown at the right of the maps. Oh, interesting. So then these are all the maps, and they're all folded like we do in junk journaling. Fold in the flaps. So I love the aqua colors on these. I didn't even see that before. That is really cool. All those Canadian maps. I love the coloring on those. And then there's like a index kind of thing. It's on a different kind of paper, kind of grayish. And then look at all the little things I can fussy cut out, all these little buildings. I'm a kitchen designer, my son's an architect, and my husband's a builder, so we like buildings. And I like some of the architectural features on these. That's really neat. There's lots of them. Different kinds of barns. I love barns. Grew up on a farm, and I love barns, all the different sizes and shapes. And this is the typical barn in our area, just a barn with a slope going up into the ramp, going up into the haymow. And commercial buildings, all the facades and churches. All this is, I didn't even realize this stuff was in here. Oh, dwellings. So all the old Victorian, Queen Anne, it tells you what they are. Oh, that's to me, that's like a gold mine right there. Just the last quarter of the book, not even. Sort of doing this back to front. And so that's the whole section about the buildings of Canada. Now let's go back to the front and see how this thing starts off. So the shaping of Canada, the heritage, the places, the buildings, the faces. So there's going to be historical stuff and cultural stuff and pictures of statues. And I love this window that you're looking out onto the graveyard, probably in an old church. A giraffe. Alberta Game Farm. Inside of an old factory or something. Aluminum plants. Oh, this is just full of cool things. And even just the text is cool. Nice font. I mean, I almost hate to tear up a book about Canada, but I want to do some Canadian themed things. So, especially for July. I want to do Canadian themed things in July. And then when I get to the buildings and stuff, that's not necessarily Canadian themed, but it does represent Canadian architecture, which you would find some different styles of architecture throughout the States and in Canada. Different areas, like Maine comes to to mind in Boston. They have a lot of a certain style of old house. So that's pretty neat. And then the milk calendar. In Canada, there is a milk producers board, and they make a milk calendar every year, and they have all sorts of recipes in it. So this is like a bunch of little booklets in this case, a bit bigger than the size of a VHS tape. So I thought that the little box was neat, and then each one is a different category of recipe. So chicken, beef, and pork, and all the recipes with full color pictures, pasta dishes, and there's some interesting papers in here too that I can use. The front covers all seem to have this, like a quilt pattern almost. What's this one? Baked goods. Might even get some good recipes out of them. Oh, that one's got purple. Nice. Purple accents on all the pages. So I can get a lot of paper out of these books too. And this one looks like it's going to have like a pink. Very cool. And you can tell these have hardly even been used. They crackle when you open them. So that's really neat. And then a yellow book. So it's going to have a yellowish green design there. So I'm probably going to deconstruct these because I've already got a gazillion and 6 recipe books. But that's got awesome papers. And then maybe I'll cover this little box and make a book that goes inside of it. I can use the size of these as a guideline, maybe make it just a little smaller so that it's easy to get in and out. But that's what I thought I would do with that. So it'll be fussy cutting, paper scraps, and then a book cover. And then there was a couple of these little advertising baking books, which are recipe books, which I just love. I've got a collection of them in the bottom drawer of my hutch, or my hutch, I guess you would call it. I just love them when they're put out by the companies. You get some really neat recipes using those products. So I thought I would just have that, for my collection. And I often do list these on Etsy as well. I find other people seem to want to collect them too. So I probably won't tear those apart. I'll probably list them first. The ones that I've sold, mind you, have been much older than these, but I still find people like them. So, and then Quotations with an Attitude, a wickedly funny source book. Now this one almost feels like maybe it was in the bathroom or something. It's got wet, it's crumpled, but I just thought this might be great for a source of quotes to put on cards that you want to be a little funny. So it's just jam-packed of quotes. So I'll just fussy cut the ones out that I think are usable and start a little box of them. Because it's already on good thick paper. It'll cut nicely with my ripple scissors. My wife gives good headache, Rodney Dangerfield. I sold my memoirs of my love life to Parker Brothers, and they are going to make a game out of it, Woody Allen. So that's just a great source for words and phrases. And then this one is the one that I'm really excited to look through. I haven't looked through it yet. I realized what it was as soon as I saw it, but I wanted to save my reaction for on video. So it's a binder, about a 2-inch binder. And have I got it at the front? And it's somebody's recipe collection. And I did this myself when I was in my teens and 20s. It's maybe a little bit into my 30s, but I mostly did it in my teens and 20s when I was sort of gearing up to be out on my own. I think Brian and I moved together when I was 21. So I was still working on it then, clipping magazines and pasting them in this big binder. I think I still have the binder. Maybe I'll do a flip through of it for you too. So someone started to clip these ones and never got them put in. There's some great pictures here. And it looks like maybe, yeah, Century Home Magazine is a magazine from Port Hope where I work. And this is where the bank is that I got these. So a local magazine, but it is now a national magazine, Canadian House and Home. No, Canadian Home and Country is the name of it now. Got taken over by Canadian Home and Country. And then here's some photocopied recipes with quince. I've never cooked with quince, so someone was quite into it. They've got all these quince recipes. So these can be used in collage. Don't be surprised if you get some of these pages in your next swap with me. There's a whole, someone looks like they photocopied the whole quince section of a book. Stuffing, soups, Canadian living, TLC cleaning service. Oh, someone's jotted down a recipe. I love these. 14-ounce can condensed milk, third a pound of butter, 1 1/4 cup icing sugar, 2 teaspoons of Bailey's, 1/4 cup brown sugar, and 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla. Interesting. Wonder if that's some sort of icing. Must be. Pumpkin soup. Chai cheddar upside down cake. I used to just not be able to resist printing these things out myself, but now I don't do it as much because you just go to Pinterest when you're looking for a recipe. At least I do. I have Pinterest boards of recipes I've saved, but then I'll also just look around on Pinterest till I find one I like. So these ones never got put in, but that's okay. I can still play with them. And then let's see what she did get put in. Breakfast. So I've got these vintage divider pages, which are awesome. Looks like they were bought ones, like not homemade, but it's a little thin compared to the ones we see today. But if it was a package of 12 of them or something, it might have been a little thinner. So we got cranberry cooler. What was the subject? Breakfast. So all sorts of different clippings collaged onto these pages. So these would make great fronts for cards, and I just back them with coffee dyed paper. It's already done for me. Some of the old tape that's yellowed. We just savor this stuff, don't we? I came across that when I was looking through some stuff at my dad's, and I got all excited, and he looked at me like, "You're excited about old tape?" Yeah. Now here, she's used tape to reinforce these holes that she punched. And then there's a flip out. She was already junk journaling, she just didn't know it. Philadelphia recipe, honey orange pancakes. There's a flip up. So I could back that with coffee dyed, and it could be a place to write notes about the recipe or something. And then preserves. So there might be some really interesting clover honey. Oh, what's he doing here? I don't know why she would have a recipe for making honey. Marmalade. Something with rhubarb and pineapple and strawberry jello. Interesting. I might have to try some of these. And then see where it was a multi-page thing. She stapled it up in the corner and left all the pages. I never thought to do that before I junk journaled. That's neat. That's a neat picture. And then zucchini, something, mustard relish. Jam that tastes like carrot cake. Dandelions. With 8 cups of water, juice of 1 lemon, boil for an hour, let stand overnight, strain and throw away the flowers, add 5 cups of sugar, boil, then simmer for 1.5 hours until the consistency of maple sugar. I wonder what you call that. It doesn't have a title. It's nothing to do with that. That's interesting. Jalapeno jelly. Pickled tomatoes. Never heard of that before. Salsa. Golden gossip chutney. English marmalade. I love these handwritten ones. It's too bad that's on 2 pages. I might have to just fold that up and put it in a book somewhere. Put it in a little envelope. Green tomato marmalade. Maritime Air Group Headquarters stationery. A bunch of different marmalades. Dill pickles. Green gooseberry jam. Tomato chutney, Polish dill, mustard pickles. I've heard of a lot of these things, but I have not made a lot of pickles. Something with herring. And then the pickling book from Heinz. Intact. Looks like, no, it looks like sheep did the holes because there's not a third hole. There's lots of good recipes in there. Mimi's Icebox Pickles. Mimi Mullendore in Georgia. And there's the dandelion flowers again. I wish it would say what it was. Zucchini relish. Some calendar pages. Mustard pickles. Gingered rhubarb jam. Oh, I'd like that. I'd have to try that. Oh yes, I remember these. We used to get them for back to school every year. Cranberry rum sauce, raisin sauce, plum sauce. All the things. Magic Canadian cream liqueurs. Cranberry punch. This is just a treasure trove. I mean, I have something very similar, but you don't want to use your own in a junk journal, but you'll use someone else's, you know? That's what I find anyway. I don't mind taking this handwritten recipe and putting coffee dyed paper on the back of it and not thinking of it again, because it's not my mother's or grandmother's writing. And whoever's it was didn't care. They donated it, so I don't mind using it in any way that I want. So this will be a lot of fun to play with. I haven't done anything recipe related with my junk journaling yet, so maybe in the fall I'll pull this out and start doing some cooking and baking stuff. Because in the fall is when I start to think about really cooking again. In the summer, we just barbecue and have salads and sandwiches and stuff. You know, if there's a barbecue section, there might be some good barbecue recipes. But all sorts of different things. And you can tell they were collected over time because some of them are quite aged. The tape is all quite aged. And then some of them are on recipe cards. Some of them are quite white. "34 salad dinners." So she kept that all together. And the recipes for them. And another divider. What's this? Coleslaw. Pesto recipes. These ones were each written by the same person. Doesn't say who. I used to love Philadelphia cheesecake recipes. I would always pull them out. I never made half the recipes I clipped, but I enjoyed making the book. So I guess in that way, I have junk journaled in my past. when you come right down to it. I was thinking I hadn't, but I guess I had. Just did it more in this format in a 3-ring binder. Ontario recipe books, magazine clippings, handwritten. Spinach crepes with sour cream sauce. That sounds good. Salmon crepes. 10 ways with chicken livers. Never used chicken livers. It's come loose. Can salvage some of these little bits of tape. Put them in a little box and use them on my collages. It's just neat to see all the different places that you get recipes from. And I like the way that she did the flip ups. I did not do that in my book. I like to see all the different handwriting. People always comment on my handwriting. That's neat handwriting there. So's this. Hotel Roxborough, Ottawa. I wonder if that's still there. We go to Ottawa to see my son. There's a phone number. I could try it. Homemade pierogies. Oh, this is interesting. Very small writing. That'll be hard to read. What's this? Oh, that one's got pierogies on top. It's interesting too when you see the different trends in food. Like one year we're all into spinach, and the next year we're all into kale, and the next year we're all into something else. I'm not sure where that originates from. Who starts these trends? Fusilli cheddar bake. Casseroles. Eggplant, corn fritters, pickled beet salad. Stuffed tomatoes. I think that goes right there. Looks like maybe a few things have fallen out over the years. That's something you're starting to see again. Tomato and mozzarella cheese salad. Focaccia. Turkey tonado. Never heard of that. Tonado. Potatoes 5 special ways. Potatoes au gratin. Au gratin. Crepe and winterlude compatible combination. I just can't wait to use these two. Use that paper. Probably use it for backing tags. Christmas pudding. That looks interesting. Brie, pear, and walnut braid. Oatmeal cookies. Good old oatmeal cookies. Probably have the ingredients to make those. Stained glass cookies. That's the one with the mini marshmallows. Hard candies or sour balls. There's no picture of that one. I was thinking of the marshmallow ones. Peanut butter cookie. Filberts. Chocolate chip zucchini cake. Eggnog bread pudding. That sounds delicious. White bread. I don't see anybody's names on any of these, like Aunt Carol or whatever. You'd think on some of the handwritten ones that it would say who was giving you the recipe. From the kitchen. Oh, from Deanne. There we are. Or Diane. Hot milk gumdrop cake. I know if I'm looking through my mom's, I can recognize some of the handwriting from some of her friends. And my grandmother, my mom, she had very distinct handwriting. I can always tell when it's one of her recipes stuck in a book. Irish tea scones, might have to make those. My mother-in-law used to make us Irish soda bread all the time. Don't know if she's made any lately. What's this one? Nordic ware, orange pound cake, eggs. Orange pound cake, eggs. I wonder what the eggs is about. Maybe it was a special pan that made, oh yeah, it made egg-shaped cakes. That's what it was, because it was Nordic ware. So I'm sure you could do them as any kind of a low muffin. You wouldn't need the egg-shaped container to make them, is what I'm saying. They just wouldn't be egg-shaped. Mad about muffins. Old-fashioned pan rolls. That's something I've never made from scratch. How to do braided edges, scalloped edges, leaf edge, sunburst edge on a pie. See what that says. Holmes. Oh, hummus maybe? Because it's chickpeas. Syrian cheese, gallon of milk, and 2 junket tablets. I don't know what that is. I think that's before my time. Rhubarb bread, French crullers, yum. Rum balls. See, some of those old recipes, you gotta try them, right? An Italian panettone. I'm not sure how you say that. Dinner desserts. Let's see, this will be the good stuff. Cheesecakes. Frozen fruity mousse cheesecake. Apricot velvet cheesecake. Pumpkin harvest cheesecake. I do like cheesecake. I should make some. That's maybe what I'll make for Easter. Lemon mousse cheesecake. Something light for Easter. Mint chocolate cheesecake. Yum. Summer freezer cheesecake. Cranberry orange, caramel chocolate, berry crisp cheesecake, yum. Mandarin chocolate, raspberry, cheesecake trifle. Oh. I should try a new cheesecake every month. Halloween yummies, cherry cheese pie. It's a classic recipe. The Ultimate Butter Tart by Crisco. And some of you in the States won't know what a butter tart is. It's deliciousness is what it is. Is the recipe on the back? Yep. I'll just put the recipe out here for you to see. I'm going to do a screenshot of it. Brown sugar, corn syrup, egg, vanilla, salt, and raisins is all you need, aside from your shells. It's kind of like the filling for a pecan pie, but maybe a little runnier. For pecan pie, it sets up semi-firm. This is best if it's a little gooey and runny in the middle. Very sugary, very delicious. Up here in Canada, it's a thing. They come in all different flavors now, and we have bake-offs, and people win awards for having the best ones. I don't think I've ever made them from scratch. My mama did. A few times when she was up from West Virginia, she made them. And I thought that, now I think that's kind of strange, because I know that down there they don't do butter tarts. That's just not a thing down there. Just like Nanaimo bars. We took Nanaimo bars one time to a family reunion in the States, and no one even touched them because they didn't know what they were. I said, that's okay, we'll take them back to the hotel room. We love them. They didn't know what they were missing. You'd think just the chocolate on the top would make them want to try it, but they'd never seen them. Red River cereal recipes. Pumpernickel bread. That sounds interesting. Made with Red River cereal. I don't think I've ever had Red River cereal. Jell-O recipes. I have whole books on Jell-O recipes. So many of these are coming out, but that's okay. We'll put them back in, or we'll use them in a different way. There's some Jell-O recipes. Poke cake. I told that to a friend of mine, a co-worker, a man. Said something about needing to make a cake for something the kids were coming for, and I think it might have been Easter. And I said, well, have you ever made a Jell-O poke cake? And he looked at me, and I said, you've never heard of a Jell-O poke cake? And he hadn't. So I described it to him. I don't know if he went home and Googled it or not. So Scott Hall, if you're watching, did you ever make your poke cake? Chocolate Fantasy. Something for Valentine's Day, it looks like. Chocolate fudge. Baklava. Chocolate truffles. Always good to have basic recipes for these things. Bazaar ideas, so things you can take to a bazaar to sell that will keep and are easy to package and that sell. That's always good. How to do packaging for a bazaar. Christmas pudding. We're getting to the back here. Quick whole wheat bread. Old Country, Nova Scotia. Baked mashed squash. Bet you that's good. I like squash. Very, very fun, very cool. I'm going to have a lot of fun using this book, using it up. I don't intend to keep it as a recipe book. I intend to use it for ephemera. So if you saw anything in here that you just have to have because your mom made that recipe or your grandma made that recipe or whatever it might be, if you saw something in there that you want, hit me up and we'll do a swap. It'll be fun. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this kind of, basically it's kind of like a thrift haul. If you would like to see more of that kind of things, those kinds of things, check out my hauls playlist, and there will be more coming because I'm always thrifting and yard sailing and estate sailing and all of that good stuff. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, but most of all, have a great day and happy crafting and happy thrifting.